Hey YouTube, doesn't it feel good when you actually speak your mind about something? On some level, the more you do that, the more you get off your chest stuff, there's this kind of lighter feeling that you feel. And maybe I should do this more often. I really should. Because, I'll be honest, at this point, I don't give a crap about negative comments or whatever. By the way, I've had this YouTube channel for quite some time now. At least, wow, easily over 10 years. Probably like, I don't know, since 2007 at least. 13 years. So, yeah. Um, but I've only been putting out videos for the last like 3 or 4 years. Not too long. I'd say 3 years. If you want to count my videos, I have close to 900, not quite. I haven't really counted it myself. But just, assume that I'm probably doing um, probably around 100 videos a year. Yeah. Has it been 100 videos a year? No, it would be more like, maybe more than that actually. Like, yeah, 200 or 300 per year. Anyway, so almost a video per day on average. I have a lot of content. Just not a lot of people have seen my stuff yet. Oh well, that's right. So I've been doing this game long enough. Been responding to putting comments in videos long enough. Um, and I've been reading enough comments long enough that not only could I tell you pretty much most every single meme there is out there. God, I hate that word. So, I can tell you anything you want to know about all that stuff. So, I don't even need, I mean, even if I wasn't teaching private lessons, I would still know what kids are talking about in junior high stuff. It's YouTube. It's on YouTube. Why is it why is it that teenagers just parrot media? Well, because that's what they're watching and they enjoy it, and so yeah, there you go. So, I'm not saying teenagers are just parroting the media, am I? Look, just to help the Generation Z feel better, when I was a teenager, that's what most teenagers did also. Just parroted. Well, of course, I was more independent thinking, right? We always think more highly of ourselves at some level, but to be honest, I didn't always watch what other people were watching. I didn't always listen to what other people were listening to. But on some level, I parroted what I heard in the media as well. I'm not really sure where this whole video is going, by the way. Oh yeah, I know where it is. Um, I kind of got a little tangent there, didn't I? Well, basically, in a nutshell, I've been doing this YouTube thing for quite a while, and I don't give a rip anymore about stuff that you get to a point where you just don't care anymore. Well, you do, but you don't, right? Someone's used the F word in this regard. I have no more F's to give. Of course, they weren't Mormon, but, well, whatever. But you do feel like it sometimes. I mean, I think this video is just going to be about some random stuff. Just going to come. I mean, like, I don't know what these guys are thinking sometimes. Between the black Hebrew Israelites, between those nutballs in purple robes Between those guys and I don't know, because of politics, right? Uh, well, at this point, there's too many subjects to think of. My brain is just going from one to the other. Like, what you see a lot of crap. Most of what, well, I'll put it this way, probably easily, 40% of YouTube comments that I've seen don't need to be on YouTube, or they shouldn't be. They're either worthless, or they're tired and overdone jokes, especially on those pet videos, right? Excuse me, sir, I think something's wrong with your dog. Excuse me, YouTube commenter, you are the 2 millionth commenter. Well, actually, let me correct myself. You're the 2 billionth. You're the 2 billionth commenter making that same comment on a very similar, cute animal video. No, we just don't need another "excuse me, sir" comment. We really don't. And this is one of the most teenage-esque, comments I have to say, because that whole way of being just now is very much a 13 to 16, 17-ish kind of thing to say. And believe me, the 90s was filled with that crap. And I really didn't love it. But I know it very well. And you still see the same nonsense. And it's still eye rolling, okay, half smile whenever someone says something like that. You can never blame somebody for saying something just sheeplish, joking joke, a sheeple joke, right? Let's call it a sheeple joke. You can never really blame someone for making a sheeple joke. It's just that they want to be part of the crowd, isn't right? That's why we single out the teenagers in this regard, because they just want to fit in. Oh goodness, I don't know. One of these days I'll understand human psychology. I understand my own on some level. It's just a question of how well I understand everybody else. Yeah, I tried my best to understand women in the last video while I was talking. I really did. But there are times when I still don't. Even though I was probably a little bit hard on the East Asian women. I still love the East Asian women. I just wish that I wasn't thinking about Serpence's stuff. He might have gone off to China, and he still does quite a bit. But he's married to a Chinese woman, hey. But yeah, he's pretty severe. But we just want to know how right he is. But I digress here. Alright, but this whole video is a little bit more of a digression because I really do need to speak my mind, I think. So, after a while, making YouTube videos, whether or not tons of people watch them or not, I have some videos that I'm pretty happy with. Their numbers of people that have seen them, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm always happy when I get a few more views than usual. Someone says, "Oh, I've been shadow banned." I have no clue. I have no clue whatsoever. How would I know something like that? How does anybody know something like that? It's kind of like, and this is like leads me to my next train of thought. I do have to mention what just happened today. Well, I should say yesterday in Washington D.C. Oh, joy of joys! I know you guys want to hear about this, but let me just finish up my first thought here. So, um, I guess what I'm trying to say is when I've been called every name in the book and, been teased probably worse than when I was a boy by far and gotten in so many arguments with so many different kinds of people that, you know, I mean, like, God, you start getting to a point where you just, nope, sorry, talk to the hand, or I've still known to make some very sarcastic responses to things. But honestly, if I saw the person's face and their expressions, they did that, I'd probably be more likely to be a much nicer person. And as President Nelson has often mentioned, my church, he's the prophet. All right, my church. He's the president and prophet. We need to all be a little kinder to everybody online, right? I'm not quoting him word for word, but he's like, on your online activities, be kind, be considerate, be a little better. Oh, how I wish, how I wish that could always be the case. But folks, just like many of you guys, I've been on here so long. I've seen so many things. Again, you get to a point where you're just like, if the person's nice, I'll be nice. If the person isn't being so nice, it's time to go, right? Or if you think of something very witty to say, by all means say it, and then you can block them. Oh, I know. I mean, like YouTube is turning people into these cretins. I wonder if YouTube's turned me into a cretin. I'm not a cretin, but honestly, I'm a good person. I'm a nice person. But you see so much of this crap, right? Haven't you guys if you guys have commented on a fair amount of videos, haven't you experienced more crap than you ever experienced if you're an adult in junior high or high school or elementary school, from the worst bullies and the most pig-headed buffoons that you possibly imagine? Kids have been abused. Haven't you been the victim of more unkind comments than you've ever had when you're younger before? But they don't sting as much, do they? Because you can't hear them. You just read them. And you can just block it and be done with it. But it still kind of stings a little bit, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I don't know, YouTube. This is why so many people decide not to use you. Yet you continue to be this megalith of videos that we love to watch. I don't know. I mean, you're the one social media website that I think is rather indispensable at this point, unless someone can do what you're doing better, which I'd say is still a possibility, maybe not for some time. So let's get to my next train of thought here. What just happened in D.C. yesterday? Sorry. Washington, D.C. Oh, man. And I've probably mentioned stuff about the Illuminati before. And I'm sure I've mentioned a few things about my politics and Trump and Biden. Oh, man, you had a bunch of, in case you guys didn't know, you had a bunch of pro-Trump supporters that decided it would be a good idea to um, go crazy, yeah, in Congress, U.S. Senate House of Representatives building. And just, yeah, go wild and crazy. Because, why? Because, hey, the election wasn't fair. There was corruption. Uh, we know that Trump was going to win. I was going for Trump, kind of. But at the last moment, I decided to vote for the Libertarian, Joe Jorgensen or whatever. So I was like, But Washington goes Democrat every single time anyway. It really is frustrating how it doesn't matter what I do, just Western Washington votes for Democrats all the freaking time. Really annoying. So, um, yeah. I mean, a lot of people are thinking that this is just something that's like some freak of nature, like a random, just what the devil's going on kind of thing. And it's just going to go away. and Biden will be president, and everything will be back to normal. Normal. Whatever normal means, right? When Obama was president, I just didn't even think about it. I didn't think about it. That's how people are going to be with Biden. Unless it affects your taxes or unless it affects your life in some way. Because everything else is just out there. And we do care about everything else. It's just that it's everything else. It's not in our lives. So, but when something does affect us, we remember it. Like those medical penalties for not having health insurance. Obamacare. Thank you, Obama. I appreciated that. Very much so. Even though, we had to get a health plan that, you know, I really detested Obamacare. I really, really did. And that better stay away. That crap better stay away. That's all I'm saying. So there's still a part of my psyche that's thinking to myself, hey, what if Trump was right? What if there was tampering? You know? It's get a little COVID-19. Hey, conspiracy stuff. It's caused some trouble. It's caused some unrest. It's planted in China. Hey, let's get the Chinese people sick and they get better. Then it goes to everyone else. It's China. Everyone's to blame China. Meanwhile, we, the Illuminati, get to roam scot-free. And then, just to make the conservatives mad, want to go nuts, let's just mix it up a little bit. Again, with this crazy election. And, hey, because then people are going to buy guns and bullets. And who makes all the guns and bullets? And we do, of course, because we own everything. People shooting each other up. We're making buck. We're making bank. Whatever. Now, there's always going to be enough Americans to have. There's always going to be enough people to. We'll just do whatever we want, basically. We don't stand for anything except for money and Satan. It's Illuminati, man. Land, stuff. More stuff for us. Less for everybody else. We're going to hide behind every possible organization you can think of. Nobody's ever going to suspect us. We still kind of laugh at. We want people to laugh at the Illuminati, right? Oh, but Jim Carrey, he was innocent, right? He's an innocent man. Because it's just so loony to believe in the Illuminati. Oh, it's just so far-fetched. So he calls it the Illuminati. You're a part of the Illuminati, you are, and you are. Oh, but we love Jim. I love Jim. Was Jim just making a joke? Or is it something deeper? And as Obama told Jerry Seinfeld when Jerry was in the White House office, that whole comedians and cars thing he was doing. As Obama hinted, I guess you'll just have to assume. You just have to, assume that the apples aren't poisoned, right? I guess you'll have to see that clip to know what I'm talking about. But don't we just love it? When, just like I was talking about guessing about what women think in the last video, now I'm talking about guessing what's happening in politics. Using our imaginations yet again. What could possibly be happening? What could possibly be happening in government? What is Donald J. Trump doing right now? Is he going to get 4 hours of sleep again? Is he going to have his fried chicken and pizza with the salad? I'm pretty sure we're not thinking about what he's eating. No, I'm pretty sure that when it comes to things like politics, we're wondering about all those buckets, this file cabinet after file cabinet of all these, top secret documents. When are they going to be declassified? We're wondering about the Masons, on some level, 33rd degree Scottish Freemasons, Bohemian Grove, Trilateral Commission, Skull and Bones, all that stuff. We're wondering about 9/11 still, some of us. We're wondering about, Benghazi and the Gulf War. We were there for why? We were there for the oil, idiot. Not for, you just because guess who likes the oil? The Illuminati likes the oil. They like the oil because it makes them money. And they like the dutiful Arabians, which are often not so dutiful. They like the Arabians to be their pocket because they say, hey, we'll keep you safe from all these crazy terrorists, like what that crazy guy in Iran. We'll keep you safe from the Persians, the Iranians, the Chinese. And meanwhile, Russia and China, they're like trying to get on the Illuminati's good side because, of course, they're the most powerful entity in the world. They basically dominate the West. We know this. We say we know this, but we don't know this, but we know this. Because, why do we know this? Because nothing ever changes. Doesn't matter who we elect. It's always the same thing. It's always, we keep finding ourselves in the same spot we were in 10 years ago, 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I don't know. Where was I? Yeah, I was like at BYU or something. Was the nation any worse off? Was it any better off than it is now? We have these little ups and downs. We have the stock market. But nothing really ever changes in terms of, it hasn't changed for the longest time about how other countries see us, how we see them. Well, how we see them maybe changes a little bit. I don't know. But in terms of the West, it's all kind of been kind of dominated by the Illuminati. And so, those of us who think this way, that they're just puppets, right? We're just watching a soap opera. Some people that stormed the government were thinking along those lines, probably. And they thought Trump was not a part of that whole thing. That's why they were so angry about his loss. Other people don't really believe the Illuminati. They just believed in Trump. They'd probably be even more, wow. He wasn't part of the establishment. He was going to clean the swamp. So, but then, lo and behold, what happens? Well, my own family, I saw a movie about Trump's shortcomings. Oh, yes. We talked about how he was a megalomaniac. And he was. He is. He's all about himself. The question is, of course, did he ever sell us out to the Illuminati just like so many other people did? It's not selling us out, but it's a question of, will he do their bidding? But we know this. We know this. Every single president that hasn't been assassinated, at least, had to do the Illuminati's bidding. Whatever they wanted, the Illuminati wanted them to do, wanted American troops to do, whoever else to do. They had their way. They kept the third world in check. Very much so. As you hear from George Carlin, the U.S. government loves bombing brown people. The U.S. government very much does that. And so that's why we're held in such low esteem in so many places. And it has nothing to do with the American people. It has everything to do with the U.S. government. So you have some guys that, made a huff for the election. And that's just a smidgen, a small percentage of conservatives that decided they were sick and tired of what was happening. They're just going to go do it. And so many other conservatives we're all kind of a little confused. So many of us are thinking different thoughts about all this stuff. We're not sure what to make of all this stuff. We're not sure if it's time for a revolution or if we need to be good boys and girls and obey the law. We have no idea. It's been over 200 years since we had a revolution in the United States, and when we did have a revolution, heck, it wasn't even the United States. It was the United, I don't know, colonies or something. I don't know. 13 colonies. So it's time for a revolution. Well, yeah. When you have a revolution, that means the whole world turns upside down for I don't know how long. That's not a small thing. There's no law and order. Whatever law and order there is exists among people that are more principled because, well, that's one of government's primary things that they do is the police and the courts and the jails also are national defense. It's one of the public safety defense. So I just don't know, folks. I just don't know. We all have to have our conjectures about what's going on. I guess we can still keep listening to Alex Jones if you want to, but I don't know. I haven't been following that guy for the longest time. I really haven't. We could listen to Glenn Beck. We could listen to Ben Shapiro. Or if you're more liberal, whatever, I sometimes tune into the Young Turks. Or, I'm sure one of your pundits, late night pundits like Stephen Colbert, be nice and funny for you. I don't know. Jon Stewart, because John is so inoffensive. But I want to say this much, though. I want to say this much. If we do have some really big stuff that goes down, and I mean big, I at least want to survive, and I at least want to have a good life still. And I don't know. There's a lot of things I want, but I'm sick and tired of having the world so messed up and depressed. It's wrong what has been happening for I don't know how long. And the good men and women of the world are sick and tired of it too. We just don't know what to do about it. And so, if this effort to, interfere with the government, if it was well intentioned, just turned into something a little bit crazy, then maybe it is a small thing. But, I don't know. I kind of think that it's going to lead to bigger stuff. And the more that the Illuminati uses the left and right two-party system to keep making us fight each other, they're just going to keep laughing all the way to the bank. And we need knowledge of what's going on. We need to have more unity. And I think that can only come as we kind of figure out kind of what's really going on in terms of these different, well, we figure out who's good and who's evil. And it's not always good and evil, but it's more like those people who are trying to have good character versus people that are trying to pursue truly bad character. Like, bad. Corrupt. Alright, you guys take care. Catch you later. Take care. Bye.